breaking up marriage plan due to his plans of making me housewife and a bang maid. I am a 29-year-old woman who has worked hard to achieve success in life. I currently earn a six-figure salary and am proud to own my home. Professionally, I serve as a head nurse at a reputable government hospital, a role that I am deeply passionate about and which has given me both financial independence and personal fulfillment. In my personal life, I have had a couple of serious relationships. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, those relationships did not culminate in marriage. One of my boyfriends had to move out of the country for career opportunities, which made it impossible for us to maintain the relationship. Another relationship ended because his mother disapproved of me and the community I belonged to, which led to conflicts that we felt would be difficult to overcome in the long run. Despite the love we shared, we made the mutual decision to part ways, as we did not see a harmonious future together. He was the love of my life, and the decision to let go was incredibly painful, but it was made with a clear understanding of the challenges we faced. After taking time to reflect and consider my options, I decided to embrace the idea of an arranged marriage, as it aligns with my cultural values and offers a structured way to find a compatible partner. Through this process, I was introduced to a man who seemed like a good match. Over the course of a year-long courtship, we got to know each other well, and gradually our relationship evolved into love. We have built a strong bond based on trust, mutual respect, and shared goals, which has made us confident about taking the next step. Our wedding is planned for next year, and I am looking forward to starting this new chapter of my life with optimism and hope. The man I was engaged to is from a wealthy family, and he himself is extremely affluent. As our relationship progressed, both he and his family began suggesting that I should stop working after marriage. They assured me that I wouldn't need to worry about finances, as he would provide me with as much money as I needed to spend. Instead, they wanted me to focus on managing the household, as we would be living in a multi-generational family home where his parents would also reside with us. When this was brought up, I made it clear that I could not agree to such an arrangement. I explained to him that I have worked incredibly hard to reach this point in my career, and giving it up was not an option for me. I expressed my perspective, telling him that I had no intention of becoming someone who exists only to maintain the household and cater to his needs. While I have the utmost respect for women who choose to be homemakers, I personally do not wish to follow that path. I felt strongly about retaining my professional identity and continuing to contribute meaningfully to my field. However, his family, especially his parents, did not take my stance well. Over time, I began to notice a shift in their behavior. They became increasingly passive-aggressive toward me, making subtle remarks that hinted at their disapproval of my decisions. While I initially chose to ignore these behaviors, hoping things would improve, the situation came to a head during a weekend lunch at his house. During the meal, his mother openly commented on how today's generation of women is overly stubborn and does not value traditional family values. I firmly disagreed with her statement and made my perspective clear. I told her that I deeply value family, but valuing family does not mean I need to conform to outdated expectations or sacrifice my aspirations and individuality. I explained that I had grown up witnessing my own mother make countless sacrifices, setting aside her dreams and desires to be the perfect wife and mother, and while I respect her immensely, I do not wish to follow the same path. My words did not sit well with his family, and the atmosphere became tense. After this argument, I left their home feeling deeply unsettled. Over the next few days, I spent a lot of time reflecting on the situation and evaluating whether this relationship could truly work in the long run. Despite my love for him, I realized that our values and expectations for the future were fundamentally misaligned. Eventually, I came to the difficult conclusion that this marriage would not be sustainable. I informed my parents of my decision to end the engagement. My parents were initially shocked and deeply upset. They were concerned about the impact this would have on our family's reputation, as breaking off an engagement, especially with such a wealthy and prominent family, could invite societal criticism and judgment. However, seeing how distraught I was, having stopped eating and being emotionally drained, they eventually understood my perspective and supported my decision. The breakup did not go down well with his family. They were furious, expressing their disbelief that someone from my background could reject their son, given his wealth and status. Despite their anger and the social fallout, I stood by my decision. I knew that compromising my identity and aspirations would only lead to unhappiness, and I chose to prioritize my long-term well-being and sense of self. After the breakup, his family tried to ruin my reputation by spreading false narratives about me. They painted me as an ungrateful and difficult person who did not value family traditions. To counter this, I decided to take a stand. I made a public post on Instagram and Facebook, sharing screenshots of the chats where I was being pressured to quit my job and conform to their expectations. In these messages, it was evident how they wanted me to give up my career and independence, which validated my decision to walk away. My post gained widespread support, with many people, including friends, colleagues, and even strangers, expressing their solidarity and admiration for my stance. However, their reaction to my post was far from conciliatory. Both he and his family began calling me and my parents, issuing threats and trying to intimidate us into silence. They accused me of defaming them and harming their reputation. Despite their attempts, I refused to back down. At this point, I am completely unfazed by their actions. I have made peace with my decision, and I am prepared to face any consequences. If a man truly values and respects me, he will come into my life on equal terms. If not, I am content with the idea of building a fulfilling life on my own. I have even considered adopting a child in the future, as I do not believe that my happiness and purpose are tied to having a husband. My career has been a source of immense pride and independence for me. With the income one have earned, I have been able to give myself and my family a life of comfort and joy. I have treated us to foreign vacations, upgraded our lifestyle with decent cars, and ensured that we never feel deprived of the finer things in life. I do not want to be in a position where I have to rely on someone else's generosity or approval to live a fulfilling life. I have worked too hard to achieve my current position, and I will not give it up to conform to someone else's expectations. My only regret in this entire situation is that he was not honest with me from the very beginning. If he had made his expectations clear about wanting a homemaker as a wife, I would never have entered into this relationship. Instead, he chose to make me fall for him, knowing that our values and visions for the future were incompatible. It feels deeply unfair and disappointing to realize that he pursued me simply because he found me attractive, without considering whether we were truly compatible. A year of my life was wasted on this relationship, and I cannot help but feel frustrated about the time and emotional energy I invested. While this experience has been difficult, it has also reaffirmed my self-worth and strengthened my resolve. I deserve a partner who respects my choices and values my ambitions, and I refuse to settle for anything less. She edited the post to add, "Some relatives have expressed their disbelief and criticism, questioning why I would choose to leave a man who is a millionaire. They keep reminding me of the financial security and luxurious lifestyle I could have had if I stayed with him. To them, it seems unimaginable that I would walk away from such an opportunity. But for me, this is not about money or material comforts. It's about my identity, my dignity, and my happiness." She posted an update on December 12, 2024. Things took an unexpected and dramatic turn after I made the public post about the situation. The same day he attempted suicide. Before his attempt, he sent me a message saying that he loves me deeply and that the pressure from his family was the real reason he wanted me to quit my job and stay at home. He admitted that his parents strongly disapprove of women working outside the home, and he felt caught between his love for me and his family's expectations. He confessed that he didn't reveal this during our courtship because he had fallen in love with me and was afraid of losing me. He thought that if he could delay the conversation until after we were married, I might eventually give in to his family's wishes. I responded to his message, letting him know that I understood his feelings but could not compromise on my values. Afterward, I blocked him, feeling that it was the best way to move forward and maintain the boundaries I had set. However, shortly after, I received news that he had tried to take his own life by hanging himself. His parents caught him in time and he survived, but the incident caused a significant upheaval. It was heartbreaking to learn about his state of mind and how much he was struggling emotionally. Despite everything that had happened, he insisted on seeing only me at the hospital. He refused to talk to anyone else, making it clear that he needed me there. I found myself in an incredibly difficult position. While I was firm in my decision to end the relationship, I couldn't bring myself to be so cold and unfeeling as to ignore his plea during such a critical time. The situation was emotionally overwhelming, and I struggled to balance my own well-being with the compassion I felt for someone I once cared about deeply. Seeing him in such a vulnerable state, I realized the depth of the internal conflict he had been enduring. While I couldn't condone his actions or change my decision, I couldn't deny the pain he was going through either. It became clear that the pressures from his family and the expectations placed on him had pushed him to this breaking point. The entire situation was a mess, leaving me emotionally drained and questioning how things had escalated to this level. I spent the entire day and night with him at the hospital, and during that time, we had an honest and heartfelt conversation about everything. His suicide attempt made me realize just how much I truly love him and how deeply I care for his well-being. It also gave me a clearer understanding of the emotional turmoil he has been going through, caught between his love for me and the expectations of his family. In our conversation, he admitted his mistakes and promised to prioritize our relationship over the pressures from his parents. He has made the decision to stay separate from his family after marriage and fully supports me continuing my career. He assured me that he is ready to take this step to ensure that we can build a life together based on mutual respect and understanding. Given everything that has happened, we have decided not to have a grand wedding celebration. Instead, we will have a simple court marriage next month and shift to our new home, the house I own. It feels like the right choice for us, allowing us to start our life together in a way that reflects our priorities and values. After the court marriage, we plan to host a small reception with only the people who truly matter to us, keeping the event intimate and meaningful. Once he is discharged from the hospital, he will move into my home. His parents have reached out to apologize, both to him and to me, for their actions and the stress they caused. While I acknowledge their efforts to make amends, I have made it clear that I do not want to deal with them directly at this point. My focus is on him and on building a healthy and stable foundation for our relationship. My parents and siblings have expressed their concerns about my decision. They worry about the challenges this relationship might bring and have advised me to think carefully. They have said, "Do whatever you feel like, but don't cry later." I respect their concerns, but I also know that this is a choice I need to make for myself. I told them that I am fully aware of the potential difficulties and that this is my cross to wear. I believe in our relationship and in the strength of the love we share, and I am willing to take this step with hope and determination. It feels like we are meant to be together despite the ups and downs we have faced. I am optimistic about our future and hopeful that the decisions we have made will lead to a happy and fulfilling life together. I look forward to sharing more updates next month after our marriage and beginning this new chapter of our lives. Hopefully, everything will go well and we will find the peace and happiness we both deserve. If you enjoy our videos, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.